The air we're breathing now goes up about 50 miles. It changes with the tide, actually. There's an atmospheric tide as well as an ocean tide. But pay attention here, sir. The Bible says before the flood came, here's the flood right here in the days of Noah. Before the flood, the people lived to be 900 years old. Reptiles never stopped growing. Lizards and snakes and stuff would be really huge. They find fossil lizards 60 feet long. Today we call them dinosaurs. And Satan is using God's own amazing creatures, the dinosaurs, to turn people away from God. I'm sick of it. The Bible says the fountains of the deep were broken up. Water came shooting out from inside the earth. Most of the flood water came from inside the earth, not the rain. That would have shot up along the cracks, and we still have the cracks today. They're called fault lines. The earth is all busted up like an eggshell. I think it went shooting out so fast, some of those rocks might have shot up and shattered that canopy overhead, that super cold ice canopy. The Bible says there was water above the firmament. Genesis chapter 1. There used to be, I think, a few inch thick crystal, like a greenhouse, covering the whole earth. That would block out some of the UV light. I got pictures of that here somewhere.
Oh, right there.
Oh, yeah, the layers of the earth here. Today we got 7 layers. But when that canopy shattered, it was super cold ice. And it would be sucked in and dumped on the North and South Pole because super cold ice is magnetic. And that's where we got an almost instant ice age. It would be snowing 10 feet a minute and bury the animals standing up. That's why they find elephants and camels frozen up at the North Pole, standing up. Food still in their mouth. They didn't drown. They died of suffocation. No water in the lungs. I think the flood Bible story answers that with the flood. After the flood, you see people only lived to be 400, and then 200, and then 100. Today, hardly anybody makes it to 100. Before the flood, you're still a kid at 100. It was a very different world there. I think that canopy overhead increased air pressure. They had richer oxygen and greater air pressure. You could run for hundreds of miles without getting tired. Okay, anyway, day 2, God made the air. Also, this machine is what they call a hyperbaric chamber. A lot of hospitals have these now because they're learning if they put a sick person in there and pump it up full of pure oxygen and increase the air pressure, everything heals faster. I think before the flood came, if you got hurt, you'd heal up before you get to the doctor. I think that's another reason why they lived to be 900 before the flood. They lived in a world where the canopy overhead, the ice canopy, would protect them from the bad stuff from the sun. It would increase the air pressure and with greater oxygen. It also had greater concentration of carbon dioxide. See, we breathe in the air and use the oxygen and give off CO2. Plants breathe in the air and use the CO2 and give off oxygen. It's a good thing God made plants. Day 3, God made the plants, the grass, the trees, and the seeds. Trees are amazing. This little nut right here, anybody know what that is?
An acorn.
Acorn. I think there are 60 different kinds of oak trees. And they might have had a common ancestor called
Oak tree.
oak tree. Just because Noah's in the ark for a year does not mean the whole world's flooded for a year. Some parts of the world might have only been flooded for a couple hours, a couple days. Enough to kill everybody is all. God ought to get the glory. The trees he made are amazing. Trees are constantly giving off CO2.